What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I'm going to give you guys a hypertuning guide for your characters. I'm going to explain what hypertuning is, what it's going to do for your characters, what memories you should be prioritizing, and what characters you should be prioritizing. Now, before we get into this video, whoever your favorite character is, and whoever your main damage dealer is, the character that you love to play, games are all about having fun, that's the character you should hypertune. But if you're trying to optimally use certain characters, you want to build certain characters to really get the most out of them and do the best in the game as far as, getting optimal runs in Warzone and Pancage, I'm going to give you guys the best characters that you should be hypertuning for. And when it comes to hypertuning, this is a new mechanism that isn't global. It's been in JP and Taiwan and CN service for a long time, obviously. But the first thing to note is, what do you need to hypertune memories? Well, if you click on a memory that is completely leveled up, if a memory is completely fully resonated and fully maxed out, that's when you can actually hypertune them. That's when you're actually capable of doing this. So if you click on rules right here, when my face is actually in the way, it tells you the requirements for hypertuning. It has to be a 6-star memory, so you can only hypertune 6-star memories, and it has to be overclocked and upgraded to its max level, right? The memory has been resonated, so the hypertune stat bonuses only apply to its bound character. So whatever memory you hypertune, those stats are only applicable to the character they're binded to. So like if you got a pattern memory that's binded to alpha, then whenever you hypertune those memories, those stats are also going to be only applied to alpha, not another character. So if I switch the pattern and put it on a different character, we won't get those hypertuning stats, just like we wouldn't get the resonated stats. And the stat bonuses are not randomly produced, so you're going to get set stat bonuses, which is amazing, guys. That's no RNG factor, which is really awesome. And the stat bonuses are permanent. They're all there forever, and you really wouldn't want to change them anyways. Changing the resonance will not affect the existing stat bonuses. So say you go ahead and hypertune a memory, but you want to change the resonance. You're not happy with the resonance. Maybe you want a different orb, maybe you want a signature move, who knows what. It depends on the character you're doing resonance for. It doesn't matter. You're not going to change the stat of the hypertuning, which is nice. Now, these are the resources that you need. You're going to need this Catalyst A hypertune bottle here. You're going to need this Catalyst B right here. You're going to need these here. The Catherine Hypertune A, right? And you're going to need the Catherine Hypertune B. Now, whenever you're leveling up a specific memory, you're going to, like, for example, I'm on a Catherine memory, you're going to have to use these here to level them up. If it was Patton, then you'd see a little Patton icon. If it was Guinevere, you see a Guinevere icon, and so on and so on and so on. Now, you see the stat bonuses up here in the top here. So I want to point out something really quick when it comes to hypertuning. These top slots only give you, I need to go into a resonated memory. Let me find a character with a resonated memory here. Let's see, we'll go to Lucio. Your top slots are only going to give this stat right here. They're only going to give you HP and crit. Now, the thing to remember about this is on elemental characters like, say, Lucia Plume, Espianca, those characters aren't really going to benefit so much from this because they're not really going to be critting. It's only your physical attacking characters that are going to be critting, so that is something to keep in mind. So my advice to a lot of you is, if you're leveling up an elemental character, then you really just want to do the bottom slots of the memories. If you are doing a physical character, then you want to do all 6 because the physical character is actually going to benefit a lot more from having those top slots. Your elemental characters will still benefit if you do the top slots and the bottom slots, but they're not going to benefit as much as a physical character because physical characters crit. Elemental characters don't, especially when they're 70%, 80% elemental. They just don't crit, so they don't really benefit from it. So again, your elemental characters, you're going to want to just do these bottom 3 slots, and your physical characters, you really want to do all 3, but you should always start off with these bottom 3. For any character, you should always start off with these bottom 3. And the reason you want to start off with these bottom 3 is because the stat that they're going to give you. They're going to give you a solid attack, and they're going to give you a solid defense increase. That attack is going to be amazing for any character in the game. So you should always start off with the bottom 3 slots. And I'll pull up a little something for you guys. Well, actually not yet. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. So the thing to remember is always do the bottom slots first for your physical attacking characters. If you can, then you want to do all 6. For your elemental characters, you just want to do the bottom 3. If you really want to try to get a little extra BP out of them, you can go ahead and hypertune the top 3 slots, but it's pretty early on right now, and you're going to find that your resources are going to be very limited as far as getting all the resources you need to hypertune. So again, just start with your bottom 3 memories for whatever character you're trying to level up. Now, as far as the characters that you want to do hypertuning for, your main attackers are going to be the main characters that you're going to want to use, or your main damage dealer. You know, Lucia Plume, Alpha, right here, and Espianca are going to be your top ones, and really Dark Watanabe. But Dark Watanabe, I don't really put that high on this unless you want to do it for him, because he's going to get replaced by Luna in the future. It's not going to be long before Luna's going to show up in this game, so I really wouldn't do it for him. I feel like you would. It's arguable whether or not you'd be wasting it. It really depends on your perception of using him. If you're going to use Dark Watanabe and you don't plan on pulling for S Luna, like if you're saving up for the near collab and you're not going to pull for S Luna, then I would go ahead and probably hypertune his memories, because you're not going to get Luna. But if you are going to get Luna, if you plan on getting her, then maybe you could go ahead and hypertune his memories. But Alpha, Lucia Plume, and Espianca are going to be the big ones. And in my personal opinion, guys, I really think it's between Alpha and Lucia Plume as far as the best to do it. The first character that you should actually do it with, because their burst damage is just absolutely insane. They're so good in so many game modes that's not even funny. Alpha has a higher damage ceiling because she's a physical character and she can actually crit. But Lucia Plume's signature does so much burst damage. She's very, very consistent with it. So, I mean, there's an argument as to whether, which of these characters is actually the best. But really, I think those are your two best options, in my humble opinion, as far as starting off with hypertuning. Now, as far as where you get all the resources for hypertuning, currently we have an event in the game. We also have Kowloon Metropolis, where we can join into the United Phalanx here, and we get these rewards right here, right? So you're going to be getting these babies here, which you can actually use in the shop. You're going to be getting some cogs, and you also want to make sure you do this so you can collect these things here, because these are also for hypertuning. This is going to be your main place of farming as far as getting resources for your hypertuning. Also, every day that you do this, you want to click on news here, and you want to go to chip activation, and you want to make sure that you're collecting all of these tokens. All of these tokens, I mean, you're going to end up getting 2,860 tokens in total. When you use a total of 6,220 serum, you're going to get a total of 2,860 tokens, okay? That's all the tokens you're going to get, and you're going to use those tokens in the shop, in the event, to buy whatever materials you actually need to level up memories. You can see right now I got 1,670, and you need to be very careful, guys. You really want to only do hypertuning for the character that you use the most, for your main damage dealing character. I mentioned the characters that I believe really would be the best for it, but it's completely up to you as far as who you want to level up. All these resources you can get from Phalanx, but you're not going to get a whole lot of them, and you're just going to have to spread out your resources as best you can as far as leveling up certain memories. And as far as the hypertuning, this is always going to be available in game. These are always going to be in the game. And I'll pull up a little sheet for you guys right now. I took the liberty of going ahead and making a sheet for you, and as you guys can see, like, we'll just go to the event here, right? This material right here, if you're going to level up 6 memories, if you're going to fully hypertune 6 memories, you're going to need 36 of these things. 72 tokens for one. So you can see that this is going to cost an insane amount of tokens. Now, luckily, we have United Phalanx, where we do get a lot of all these resources. So again, you just need to be careful about how many resources you're actually using. I mean, just one memory at a time on the character that you're trying to level up is the way to do it. And again, start off with the bottom memories. I mean, for this resource right here, you're going to need 108 to do 6 memories. And you can see on the sheet that I got up there, it also shows how many you need for 3 memories. Obviously, it's just going to be cut in half because you're doing 3 instead of 6. And really, in the yellow there is really the one that you really should be focusing on as far as how many resources you actually need to fully level up 3 memories. What's in the green is what you need to fully level up 6 memories. And these resources right here, all these little circle tokens, or the hypertune crystals as they like to call them, you're going to be able to come in here and you're going to be able to buy all of these resources. And this gets extremely expensive. You're going to need 600 of these right here, 600 of these, to be able to get 12 of these to fully level up 6 memories. If you're only doing 3 memories, then you only need 300 of these gold tokens. I'm just going to call them tokens. And then you're going to need 3,600 of these, 3,600 to level up 6 memories, to fully hypertune 6 memories. So if you're only doing 3 memories, then you're going to need 1,800 of these things. And these materials that I've gotten so far, I've just been getting from United Phalanx and just collecting everything from the news here. So let's jump in here and let's go ahead and do one. I'm going to go ahead and start with Lucia Plume. Now, this is another thing to keep in mind. Lucia Plume later on, you're going to be using, I mean, some people are, some people aren't. They're going to be using like 4 Fredericks here for their burst set. Now, But a lot of people prefer to use the Hannah for a war zone. It's really completely up to you as far as what you want to do. If you're really good with using the Frederick set, if you're really good at timing your dodges, keeping in mind how many dodges you're actually using, then the Frederick is going to be better. But I really think for war zone, more than likely, the Hannah is actually going to be, it's going to be a lot easier for most players. But you want to make sure that you're leveling up a memory that you're always using on the character. That's another thing to keep in mind, the optimal memory that is specifically for that character. So for example, Lucia Plume, the Hannahs and the Fredericks here, these Isanas, I would not hypertune. Again, she is an elemental character. You should always start with just the bottom three. For any character, always the bottom three. I cannot stress that enough. Getting that attack on these three is going to be big. But I'm going to go ahead and do it because I'm going to be running the Hannah on her, especially in Warzone, to try to help my Warzone scores. So I'm going to click on Train, I'm going to click on Resonance, and then what you want to do is you want to click on Hypertuning. Whether you do the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter. You get extra attack. It doesn't really matter. You'll get attack from either this one or you'll get attack from this one. It really doesn't matter. The bottom three memories are going to have both attack stats. Now, as you guys can see, we are lacking in some resources. We need 6 of these. Actually, we need 12 of these because we're going to do this twice in one memory, right? So we need 12 of these and we need 2 of these for the Hannah. So we're going to come out of here. We're going to go into the, whoops, oh, we got to reset. Thank you, thank you. We're going to go into the shop and we're going to queue this up right now. All right, so we need to find the Hannah memories. Actually, you could just click on here and then you could just find your Hannahs right here. And there you go. It's a lot easier to do it that way. And I believe we need 2 of these. So we got 150 tokens. Oh, we'll just put 2 here. We'll go ahead and buy that. And we need 12 of these. So we'll click on 12. There we go. And boom, right? And we'll come out of here. We'll jump back in here. Click on Lucia Plume. And by the way, let's look at her BP real quick. 5,935. Let's see what kind of difference this makes. All right, we'll just start with the top. And now we're ready to go. All right, we'll hit start Hypertune. Costs 50,000 cogs. Damn right. And now we got an extra attack by 17.5%. Right? Now let's take a look at the BP difference. 5,977. Pretty sweet. We'll do it again. We'll hypertune the bottom one here. I knew I had some cogs lying around. And I love that there's no RNG. It's not like resonance where you got to worry about which resonance you're getting. You get the solid extra attack, which is awesome. So now we're up to 6,000, which is awesome. And you also know when you do full hypertuning, whenever this resonance icon changes to blue, or kind of like a light blue, you can see that they're different colors right here. So that's how you know that players have hypertuning on their memories. But my goal will initially be, to finish these bottom 3 for Lucia Plume, because again, she's an elemental character. And then I'll probably start working on alpha after that. But it's really completely up to you as far as who you want to level up, who you want to build up. It really depends on the characters that you have as far as who you want to do hypertuning for. It's a very, very expensive process, and it takes a long, long time to be able to do it. So again, just be very cautious about the memories that you actually are going to hypertune. Make sure it is for the character that you either want it for or the meta characters. Again, your main attackers like Lucia Plume and Alpha, Bianca are going to be really the top dogs. Or you could just save all these hypertuning materials. You could just save them for the next big character that's going to come into the game. But remember, if you do decide to do that, if you do decide to save for them, this event will be gone. So all these tokens that you're getting here, they'll be gone. So you're still going to have to buy a bunch of resources before this event ends. So that is something to keep in mind. But we got 3 more weeks of farming. So I wish you all good luck on your hypertuning. If you have any other questions, please let me know in the comments below. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.